Hi Stampers, it's Elizabeth from StampScrapandMore.com. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator located in Canada. And thanks for joining me today for another video tutorial. This time we are going to be playing with On the Horizon. This is the second of 3 cards that we created at a team event last month, so now I'm recreating them and uploading them to YouTube for your inspiration. But before I get started, I just wanted to mention a couple of things. The On the Horizon bundle that we're going to be using, the dies and the stamp set, are currently on back order. They are expected in the warehouse on March the 14th. The pebbles, which are gorgeous and they just add that extra detail to the cards that I love, are expected in the warehouse on March the 21st. So keep those dates in mind. I'm not sure what date this video will get posted, but I just wanted to give you those dates. Also, on the card I used the Misty Moonlight ink. I'm switching it up to Night of Navy because my Misty Moonlight needs to be, the stamp pad needs to be re-inked, and my re-inker is en route. So why am I telling you this? Because I checked before doing this video, and the re-inker for Misty Moonlight is currently on low inventory. We know as right now it is one of the retiring in colors, and once the retiring list is announced, the re-inkers are the first to go. So it's already on low inventory, so please don't hesitate. If you want that re-inker, now's the time to pick it up. Okay, so let's get started. That's enough of me and my sales pitch. Let's get over. So the card that we're going to be creating today is this one. Really simple card. It could be used for just thinking of you. You can even change up the sentiment and leave it blank, actually would be really nice as well. But it would make a nice retirement card, a sympathy card, thinking of you card, or even a birthday card. Like, it's one of those great all-around cards that you could use for every occasion. So with that in mind, I've intentionally left the inside blank because I like to have cards that are nondescript so that I can just use and put my own sentiment on the inside and not be dictated by what it says on the inside, like happy birthday or whatever. Yeah, so let's get over. Grab your pen and paper. So the card base is Soft Succulent. It is 5.5 by 8.5, and it is scored at 4 1/4. The inside of, I've got 2 pieces of basic white. They are both 5 1/4 by 4. One is blank, and it's for the inside. One, I have run it through the Tasteful Textile 3D embossing folder, and that is going to be for the outside of the card. I have a piece of basic white that is 5 1/4 by 3, and I have a piece of Designer Series paper that is also 5 1/4 by 3. I have already die cut out the gorgeous row of trees in Soft Succulent. And then I've got a rock here, and I've got some scrap paper for the sentiment. This is a really simple card to put together. I'm going to put the inside into the card. If you are making cards to send out, please put your name on the back of them, because, you know, if you're proud of your work, let people know when you send it out that you've created that masterpiece. I don't send blank cards, like cards that don't have your name on the back of it. I don't think so anyhow. So on the outside, we're going to adhere the other piece of basic white that we ran through the embossing folder. You can use your Tombow glue, or you can use your Stampin' Seal Plus. I am going to use my Stampin' Seal. If you're using like a Stampin' Seal Plus type, just make sure you get the corners. Because of the weave on the embossing folder, you want to make sure that the adhesive gets in all those cracks and crevices and adheres to the front of the card without falling apart. Be proud of your work. Put your name on the back of it, do a good job, and put your card in the mail, and whoever receives it will love it. And they'll appreciate it. And it'll make you feel good too. I'm just burnishing the edges so that adhesive is really getting adhered down. Okay, so now why did I do this? Because this is Designer Series paper, this is actually going to get popped up here. I wanted this to have just a little bit more stability. So I am going to put adhesive on this and then adhere it to the front of this basic white and try and make it even. I feel a sneeze coming on. Okay, so I've got the left hand corner and bottom edge even. You know, if you get one side even, then you can always bring out your trimmer, like which I'm going to have to do here, and just trim off some of it. Because I must have been drunk when I cut this baby. Let me get my paper trimmer out. And so you'll see I have like extra over where I didn't do a very good job of cutting it even. So I'm just going to even that baby up. And let me do one other thing, make sure that I've done it. Yeah, I'm going to trim a little off the top as well because it's not quite even on the top. Oh, no. A little bit more. There we go. Okay. And now I'm going to put dimensionals on this. I'm going to dry fit it first to make sure that I'm good. There we go. And now I'm going to put dimensionals on this. And because it's expansive here, make sure you've got dimensionals on all four corners. And then I'm going to put a few dimensionals down the middle so that it has something to hold on to in the middle, and then just one on either end. Like I said before, I want to make sure that the card arrives in great condition and that my recipient is happy to receive it. I did all my thank you cards for February yesterday, and so if you're watching this and you've placed an order with me in February, oops, it's upside down. You will be receiving a little thank you gift in the mail. They'll go out tomorrow. Or no, Monday. What day is this? It'll go out Monday. And as well, I put all the cards I didn't sign, I just left, you know, there's a little poem that I printed off. So the goal is, you know, I sent you a little gift, and you can take the card and repurpose it and send it off to somebody who needs a little pick-me-up. So that was my intent with that. So you'll all get different cards in the mail. And now I'm going to take this and I'm going to add dimensionals to it. And then this is going to get oh, I should have stamped it first, Elizabeth. So I'm going to wing it, guys. I've got my Knight of Navy here. And let me just stamp on here. There we go. I've got my Knight of Navy, and hoping that, oh, it worked fine. My Knight of Navy, and I stamped the birds. And while I've got the Knight of Navy out, I'm going to stamp the breathe on this just little cast off piece of basic white. I'm going to get my head in here, folks. Nope, don't like it. It's all right, that wasn't straight. That's why I always use a little bit bigger piece. There, oh, that's perfect. I'm going to put that aside. Okay, now I'm going to bring out my tree again, and I've got some mini dimensionals. And I'm going to put little dimensionals, and I'm going to make sure I get dimensionals sort of on, especially the last two trees. I'm going to have to cut them, because as it goes in envelopes, you want to make sure it doesn't get stuck and rip off any of the trees. So I'm going to put little dimensionals. One card I did, I don't know if it was a video I did or a live, I don't know. I lose track. I overkilled on the dimensionals. I did put in way too many. And it was, oh, and it, sorry, I put way too many on. I had to take some off because you could see the dimensionals underneath. So I'm going to show you a trick that I have so that you don't see dimensionals underneath. So first off, I'm not putting as big dimensionals on, so they'll be more subtle on the card. But I'm going to also color some of the edges of the dimensionals so that when you look at the card from the side, you won't see the white dimensionals. And yes, we have black dimensionals, and you could use black too, but then you're going to see black on the side. It might not have been a big deal on this card to see the black dimensionals, but and I'm just going to put one down here. No, everyone was so excited when Stampin' Up! Came out with the mini dimensionals, but they need even smaller dimensionals. Okay, maybe one more. One more, like right there. Okay, so now I've got my dimensionals on. I have my blends, and this is the light soft succulent. Oh, there we go. And you may not have to do this on all of them, but I am going to do it on some of them. Just color the sides. You don't have to do it on this big one in the middle, this one here, because it's not really shown, like, but the ones that are really close to the edge, that's what I mean. I'm just going to color in with the blends. Now, I always say that if you've got old blends, and it doesn't even have to be the same color, but just a color that would sort of melt into the, or disappear into the cardstock. What you can do is hold on to your old blends, because this does ruin the nibs, and so you can use your old blends to do this type of stuff so that the nibs don't get blunted. Okay, I think that's good. I don't know, I'm not sure how well you're going to see that. But when you put it on the card, if you've got too much white showing, and depending on the angle of the card, you'll see the white of the dimensional. And that's what I'm trying to avoid. And I'm just going to adhere this sort of on the horizon, like that. And it does stick over a little bit. I'll show you. I just want to make sure all the trees are down. This, I find that this tree here, you really need a dimensional under there, because it can rip off easily. So and it is over the edge just a little bit, but that's okay. All right, and now I'm going to take the Breathe, and I'm going to freehand this and stick out my tongue at the same time. I just wanted to make it a little bit smaller, not as boxy. Hold my breath when I cut. Okay, there's the Breathe. This is going to get flush down, and I'm going to say tucked under, but not really tucked under, because there are dimensionals there, but just underneath the line of the row of trees. And I'm going to use some Tombow glue. A little dots of Tombow glue. Oops. Okay, that's an accident waiting to happen. I'm going to get ink all over, or not ink, adhesive over everything. I'm just going to put the Tombow glue there. I mean the Breathe under there like that. And I'm just going to put that there, so I don't get it on my shirt. And then the last thing we're going to do, I'm just going to put one of the little pebbles. Whoops, I've got my pebbles here. Here we go. I got my sheet of pebbles here, and I'm just going to put one of the gray ones right there like that in the corner. And that is a really simple card that you can do with minimal supplies and quick to put together. So I hope you enjoy that card. I got dimensional backings on the back of it. And that is the second card that we did for the team event last month. So in a few days, the third card will be posted, and I hope it inspires you as well. Take care, have a good one, and happy stamping.